Good morning, Wednesday morning, the night after the day before the auction. Managed to get the little silver Fiesta back over last night. That drive's cracking, and I've just had a look at the paperwork, loads of history with it as well, so that seems like a good purchase. Got that booked in for service and MOT tomorrow, so hopefully we can get a fairly quick turnaround on that one. This morning we've got the Fiesta going out, and it's lovely and clean. Rich valeted it, so it's really shiny, but when they came to look at it, they were just a bit picky. Which I were a bit sort of... They said it drove lovely, but they just picked a few bits on paintwork. But in fairness, like they said, they've always had brand new cars. You know, this is 12-year-old. Yeah, of course, there's a few little bits. They spotted it had paint on the back. Oh, it's been painted here. So I'm just trying to... I texted them last night and they said, oh, what time can we pick the car up? I said, if you can give me 2 o'clock. I said, you weren't blown away with it, and I just want to spend a bit of time giving it a good machine polish. So that's what I'm doing this morning. She went, oh, that's great, thank you. I said, I just want you to be happy with it, or as happy as I am, because I think it's a cracking little car. Me and my dad came back in it yesterday when we picked it up from the mechanics. We drove it about 10 mile from where it had the cam belt done. And my dad, he was like, this is like new. He said, I can't believe this has got 85,000 on it. And somebody in the comments yesterday said, is Fiesta's the best small car? And that's what I was just having that conversation with my dad. I said, you cannot beat a Fiesta. I said, I buy as many of these as I can, the little 125s or the 14s. Not had the 16s, but they drive just as well. There's no need to buy anything else other than a Fiesta. They are just miles ahead of anything else. The Corsas are good as well. Corsas are actually much better than I ever thought, but that little red Corsa I had drove lovely as well, to be fair. 500s I'm not a big fan of. I think they look lovely, but I don't think they drive particularly nice. That Clio that I've just sold, that were nice, but the Fiesta just has the edge over it. They just have a really nice gear change, really responsive, and just the suspension setup, it is just the ride on them is just absolutely perfect. They're not too hard that they're bumpy and rock you all over, and they're not too soft that they roll around the corners. They're just really, really nice drive. That's my opinion anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm doing this morning, is just getting this polished up. I bought some new Mazerna compound, and I'm going to get a machine polish on it. So let's crack on, let's see how we get on. I'm not going to film the whole process because I've not got time. I want to get it done as soon as I can. And unfortunately, filming it takes time, but I want to get it out of the way for dinner time if I can. Right, so that's it all washed and dried off. That's took me 20 minutes. I was saying Mr. Rich over there, after he's valeted it, it only takes me 20 minutes to kind of snow foam it, wash it and dry it. The water just beads off perfect once Rich has polished it. And in all honesty now I've washed it again, I don't know what these guys are moaning about. The car's stunning. This is the side that we've had painted, so this is absolutely faultless, this side. I mean, okay, I know it's been painted. It's a little bit orange peely around the under the door handle there. But the door itself, look at my reflection there, it's like a mirror. And they were looking, the friend that they bought with them looked round the back here, he said, oh look, it's been painted here, it's been painted. I mean, 90 to 95% of people wouldn't spot that. Even before I was in the trade, I wouldn't have spotted that. I can only spot that now because I know that's been painted. Maybe a bit of overspray down there, look. I think that's what he's spotted. But he was saying, oh, that's a bit scruffy. I thought, that's not scruffy. So, as you can see, that is a clean car. I don't think I'm going to get that any better with a machine polish, to be honest. Rich has done a cracking job on it, and this is the side that hasn't been papered. Okay, there's a few little marks here. But it is clean and tidy and presentable. There's 2 little marks there on the door that, okay, I should touch in, but I've not got a black touch in, and in all honesty, I've not got time to get one now. But that is it. It's not swirly. So I'm going to machine polish it, see if I can get it any better, but I think it's going to be marginal if I can get that any better. Wife went mad with me last night when I said I need to be. She said, what time are we coming? Why do you need to be there at 8 o'clock? I said, well, I'm going to machine polish it. They weren't quite happy with it. Oh my God, she says, Rich has done it, hasn't he? I says, yeah. We bought the car, haven't we? Yeah. Why are you going to spend 4 to 6 hours machine polishing it? Just get it washed and sold. And she's probably right. But it's just, like I said, they weren't blown away with it, which then got in my head. And like I said to her last night, she said, they won't appreciate it. They won't notice any difference. I said, yeah, but I will. I said, as long as I've done what, even if they don't appreciate it, as long as I've done what I can do, as long as I'm happy with it, then I've done what I can, and at least they know I've made the extra effort. So let me pull this over. Let's get the machine polisher out, and let's see if we can make any difference. Right, let's have a little look round. So I've done that side. Real nice depth to the paint now. That is slightly better. Look at that. Like a mirror. That's a beautiful finish. That's unbelievable. So again, this is the side that I've had painted. That looks fab. Yeah, happy with that. That's a good looking car. They do look good in black, these, don't they? And I'm just on with this side now. This is what I'm using. Mazerna 3-in-1 one-step polish. I've had Mazerna number 1 before, which is a heavy cut compound. So you have to go over with a compound, then a polish, then a wax to seal it all in. But this is the 3-in-1. So this does it all in one go. So it should save me a little bit of time. I've done that rear quarter there, and then I'm just going to get on with that door now. Can't knock that, can I? And in other good news, well, I've been doing that. I've had a phone call on the Citroen C1 that I got at last night's auction, the little white one. So turns out he's a subscriber to the channel. He watched the video, phoned up this morning, asked me about it. I said yep, it's having a new clutch in, service, MOT. He asked if I'd changed the coolant and the brake fluid. I said yep, no problem, I'll get that done for you. And he's put £200 deposit on it. So we've sold the C1 from last night. That must be the fastest sale ever. All I'd done is put that YouTube video out, stuck it on my website with no pictures, and yeah, chaps rung up and put a deposit on it, which is, you know, I'm so grateful for, because, you know, the amount of trust there to just ring up and put a deposit down on a car that you've only seen on a YouTube video. Yeah, it's just fantastic. Can't ask for more than that. So I'm getting that ready for him, and hopefully we'll get that out the door next week. And I've got somebody coming. This is the other one that we got last night. Somebody wants to come and see that tonight. So honestly, I just cannot believe how things are going at the minute. I sent her, this is the lady who wants her first car for her son she missed out on the black one and she missed out on the black Clio. So I messaged her saying, look, just got this in last night. It's slightly newer than the black, slightly older than the black one. It's got 4 keepers, but it's got lower miles, better service history, and it's better spec, and I'll do it at the same price. So knocked her a couple £100 off. Again, don't mind knocking a couple £100 off for a quick sale, quick turnaround, no auto trader fees. You know, I probably saved £100. That could be sat for a month, 2 months on auto trader. It might cost me a couple £100. So if she can come tonight, put a deposit on that, we'll get that serviced and MOT'd. And again, that might be another quick sale. That could be 2 deposits today on 2 cars that we bought last night. Cannot believe the position that we're going to be in from a couple of months ago to now. Yeah, just over the moon. This is what we want. Cars coming in and going. Just turning stuff around. Okay, it's extra pressure getting stuff turned around. I'm away next week. I'm taking my dad away to Scarborough for 4 days for his 70th birthday. So I'm going to have to keep things moving here while I'm away. I'm going to have to book Rich in for 3 or 4 days, get some MOTs booked in and just keep things rolling while I'm away. But what a nice position to be in. Right, I'm going to get back on with this Fiesta. She's picking it up at 11. It's 10:05. Good morning. Thursday morning. Bins have gone out today. Thursday. Always look forward to bin day. You know, you're getting old when you count down to bin day, don't you? I used to count down to Monday night going out, but it's bin day I count down to now. Anyway, what am I waffling on about? Looking a bit of a sorry state down here. I've just took the silver Fiesta over for service and MOT. I've got a lad coming to look at that today, so hopefully that'll go. Did want to give me a deposit last night over the phone, but I just said, look, it's not advertised or anything, nobody's coming to look at it yet. So I said, come and look at it first and we'll see how we get on. I've just took the battery off the C3, that's gone flat, so I've got that on charge. Had a bit of interest on the Mazda 3 last night, but I was texting Will, I thought it was a scammer. Sent me usual text where it was kind of just written overly polite, overly English, full punctuation, blah 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 of, have you got the service history please, what's the book pack, has it got 2 keys, blah blah blah. And I thought, oh, this is a scammer. And I kind of text back, are you local? It said, why does that matter? I said, it's just that we get a lot of scam texts, and you know, it usually goes along this line of inquiry, and I'm just trying to save us both half an hour of each of us time. Anyway, it turned out to be a genuine inquiry, so I was laughing at that a bit because I'd assumed it was a scammer, but it weren't. It did turn out to be a genuine inquiry, but he had a very old, 11 plate Passat CC 2 litre diesel, 144,000 miles on it, but he wanted to part X. I was honest with him on the text. I said, look, it's not really my thing. You're probably going to get more at We Buy Any Car for it. I said, I can see it's worth 1,100 on We Buy Any Car, but they're obviously going to knock you down when they get there. I said, I'll say 500 on it, which I know is low, but as I said to you, it's not my thing. All I'm going to do is put it straight back into auction or trade it out. I did say, to soften the blow, I said, it does sound like a good car. It said full service history, 2 cam belt changes, all that. So it was probably a well looked after car, but again, just a 14-year-old diesel with 144,000 miles just sounded a bit risky for me. Anyway, as it turned out, he said, oh, it's worth a lot more than that. I said, yeah, you're right, it probably is. I said, I'm just being honest with you that, you know, if you want 1995 for it, then you're going to have to advertise it private. I think you were expecting 1,500 quid for it or something. I can't give that sort of money for it. So that was that inquiry down my pan, but I'd rather be honest and straight up with him rather than waste his time and my time. And then I've got somebody coming down to look at this morning. She already turned up last night, so she's been and had a look round it already. I weren't available, so she's coming at 11 o'clock today to come and have a test drive. So hopefully we can get that out of the way. And then I've got the Zafira in the paint shop over there. they're redoing the front bumper. I don't think we're going to bother with that paint down the side, because he said, I asked him to do it, I wanted him to do it. He said, let's have a look at it and see what it is. Anyway, he's polished it up and it looks better polished up. You can still see it, but we've got to bear in mind it's a again a 14-year-old car that's 1995 with 117,000 miles on it. I can't go throwing 500 quid of paint at it. And he said what it is, it's a chemical reaction. He said there's no... Sorry. Sorry, it was just the garage ringing about the Fiesta. Like I said, I did have somebody coming to look at it today, but they're just saying it's not going to be done today. It had a few advisories on MOT from last year for rear shockers, rear subframe bushers, tyres. So they were just ringing me to tell me it's not going to be done today, so I'll have to cancel him and get him to come over at weekend. But that's not too big of a problem. I still think he'll be interested. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the paint. So he said, what it is, he said it's a chemical reaction, so if I try to paint over that, there's no guarantee that it won't react again. He said, really, we've got to go down to bare metal with it, and then you're talking big money. So, again, I haven't got 500 quid to throw at it, paint-wise. It'd leave me nothing in the car, so for me, for a 1995 car, it looks clean, tidy, presentable, and it drives well. So that's what we've done, is polished it up and left it as it is, which I think is the sensible thing to do on a car with 117,000 miles. So yeah, let me pull, and then I'll go get the other couple of bits today. I'll go get the Astra and the Red Fabia. I'll go pick them up today and start filling this forecourt up a little bit. I need to get the signs back on the roofs. I need to get them all stickered up because it's looking a bit miserable down here. I need to get it looking like a proper forecourt again. Well, there's the I-10 already. We had an appointment at 11 o'clock. It's 11:30 now. I rung the lady at 11:15. She didn't answer. As you can see, I've been on this since 9:30 this morning. So, all immaculate. Tyre shine on. Waxed it again. Hoovered it out. And she rings me at 11:30 to say, so sorry, not coming. Great, cheers. I just said, no problem, thanks very much. I said 3 hours of my time lost, but not to worry, thank you for your time. Some palaver to do with, she was doing it through some finance. She explained it when we spoke on phone last night. She said something about a finance company called Find My Car or something. I said, look, I don't do finance. I said, as long as the company are dealing with you and putting money in your bank rather than me dealing with a finance company. She said, oh yeah, I think that's how it works. Yeah, I said, okay, no problem. Anyway, she spoke to me and said, oh no, but you know, they want to deal with you or whatever. I said, so I'm not going to come. I said, okay. So that's another one down on the I-10. That's still up for sale. Just gutted about time really, because I could have been going and picking them other two cars up, which I'm going to do now. So yeah, that's my morning wasted. Mrs. were on nights last night. She's got up early so that I could come. She didn't get to bed well 4. She got up so that I could come down here and get this ready, and that's what happens. People don't turn up. So yeah, on to the next one. Let's go grab these two cars and get this pitch looking something like a car pitch again. Here's an odd one for you. Currently at the petrol station, feeling like a complete pillock. Yeah, I can't get the petrol cap open, and I don't think it's me being a wally. So I've looked in car, I'm sat in car, jumped out, thought, oh, petrol cap won't open. I thought it was just a push release one, which it is a push release one. So I'm looking all over in here, thinking there must be a button somewhere to release petrol cap. Oh, hold on. That might work now. I've been looking for that for ages. Right, that might work. Yes, I mean, oh, thank God for that. I've been doing this for it, honestly, 15 minutes I've been sat at that pump over here, but because the central locking doesn't work, none of the doors would open. I couldn't get into the boot to get to the emergency release bit in the boot. Anyway, probably not post this, or I might do just to make you all laugh at what a wally I am. But yeah, finally got it going. Right, well, we're on Thursday night, 5:45. I can't chat for too long because I've got an angry looking taxi driver waiting for me over there. She's been giving me lifts back and forth to pick these two little beauties up. So we're starting to look a bit, well, not yet, but we've got some cars back on the pitch. Astra drives fab, no issues with that one. Let's say the worst part is that wing that's just matte, it's just a bit dull, so whether that's going to polish up or we need to paint, I'm not too sure, but I think that'll val it up really nice. Drove spot on, no issues yet. And I noticed as well, it's actually got full 12 months MOT. It's got MOT till August 26. I didn't notice that. So it has got an advisory on the tyre and the oil leak, which these Astras always have. Astras, Zefiras, the 1.6 petrol always leak around that rocker cover gasket. So we'll see what we're going to do with that. And the little Fabby is a gem, absolute gem. Can't see any bodywork to do really, just needs a good, really good valet. But as always, what I'm finding with the little Skodas is generally old people looked after, drive well, well serviced. I think Fabias are becoming a little staple stock of mine really. Just really dirty, just like all the door shuts, all the door jams. It's not as bad as that last red Skoda that I had. You know, it's nowhere near as bad as that. It just needs some love. Needs a bit of rich in it. That's what it needs. But yeah, 33,000 miles and drives like as you'd expect with 33,000 miles on. It's a 5695 car. That's the only problem is I maybe preferred it with 60,000 miles on to be a bit cheaper. But again, with it being an old person car, there might be a sensible old person out there that's willing to spend that money on the low mileage. So we'll see. So I've got Rich booked in next week for 4 days. I've got the Fiesta to come back tomorrow, and I've got the two down in the paint shop down there on the Zafira and the Ford Ka to come back. And I've got the other two to come back, the 108 and the Citroen C1. They've had clutches fitted today, they've been MOT'd today. So yeah, we're only on Thursday. Tuesday we bought 5 cars. These two have just landed. The C1 and the 108 have been serviced, MOT'd and new clutches on. And we've got the Zafira and the Ka down there having a little bit of paint done. And the Fiesta's over at the other garage having service and MOT. So we are cracking on. I'm really looking forward. Next week I'm away, I think I said earlier in the video, so I've booked Rich for 4 days and he's going to come down and get them all valeted, and then we can start to look a bit like a car pitch again. Good evening, don't worry, I've not lost a load of cars. I'm just having a little switch around, switcheroony. Just waiting for the lads bringing back the little Citroen C1 and the Hug 108. So that they've both been for service, MOT, and both had brand new clutches. So I'm just waiting for them, bringing them back. So while I'm waiting, I've got bored and I'm just having a little switch round. Just going to turn them round, see if yeah, let's face the roadside and we'll get all the signs back on top. Now we've got some cars back on site. Just need to smarten it all up again, tidy it up, put the signs back on, get some for sale boards in. I've pulled the C3 out, I've got that fired up. I've had a couple of people interested in this. I've not put any pictures or anything on my website, I've just put the details on my website, put it at 1695. Anyway, somebody's messaged me. She messaged me a couple of weeks ago trying to sell me a fairly new Fiat 500, but it was a sort of £9,000 one. It was in grey. Not the best colour for me. I think the girly cars, and they need to be in a girly colour. You know, the whites, the greens, the blues. Oh no, sorry, it was black. Yeah, it was a black one, which I don't know. I just don't fancy the black ones. Then again, it's a £9,000 one, so I didn't really fancy it. I told her to take it to We Buy Any Car. She's just sick of paying a monthly figure on it, and she just wants to get out of it, save herself a few £100 a month and get into a little cheapie. So she's inquired about this tonight, so I've got it fired up and I've just sent her a little walk round video. Again, what a cracking little car, 40 odd thousand miles, 12 months MOT on it, all good tyres. And again, this has been here about, I don't know, 6 weeks maybe, and I've not washed it. This is exactly as it came in. Okay, it's dusty now, it is mucky, it does need a wash, but the interior's absolutely immaculate. I were going to keep it, but I've got good profit in it, and people are interested, so there's no point me keeping it and it just been stood here rotting away. And I'm wanting a toy at the minute. I've been looking at a few little hot hatches. Fancy either a Fabia VRS or a Fiesta ST. I've been looking at what was the other one, or a Citroen C2 VTR or VTS. The VTR wasn't anything special, was it, in the C2? So yeah, we're looking at the C2 VTS, just something, I don't know, just fancy a little toy really. So I thought if I get rid of this, maybe the Mondeo and maybe the red C3 on the end, clear 3 spaces up, get rid of them 3 cars, and sorry, local village idiots over the road are messing about. Oh, ignore Swampy over there as well, local homeless man. I'm walking over to look at them hoovers by the skip over there. Didn't know he were there. And as I got about 5 yards away, he popped his head up, he were inside skip. He's just one of the local characters that comes round. I was going to have a look at them hoovers, but I think he's beat me to it. So there you go, that's Swampy. So that's the C3. Yeah, so I'm just going to spin them all around, just have a little play, have a little switch up. I'll crack on with that, and I'll resume filming when the C1 and the 108 arrive. Right, there we go, let's wrap this up. Friday night, 8 o'clock. I'm going to say that's done. So we've got most of the cars, sorry I don't know what I'm doing here with this fangled device. Most of the cars back on site. The lads have took the silver Fiesta back with them to do the cam belt and water pumps. We've got the silver Fiesta that's off site, and we've got the red Ford Ka, which is down in the paint shop, which I've been to see today, and he's doing a cracking job. He's painted all one side of the car pretty much, and it looks amazing, really does look. That's going to make a really nice car, that little Ka. So yeah, 108 up for sale. As you can see, I've got all the boards back on top on every other car. I've got 5 of these boards, so I've just spread them out a little bit. Sale signs in, all sale boards back on, all facing the road, lined up nice and neat. 108 back, new clutch service MOT, C1 back, new service clutch MOT. I-10, that's ready to go, and we're getting good views. I feel positive about that this weekend. Fabio, we need to get in for service and MOT next week, but I can't see that need anything. Drives fantastic, same with the Astra. Get that in for service and MOT next week. That's ready to go, and we're getting good views again on Auto Trader. And this I need to valet, photograph and advertise. C3, I've messaged a girl about it tonight. She's interested, and then a delivery driver's just pulled up and asked about it as well. So it's amazing how much interest that little thing gets. Okay mate, cheers, see you later, take care. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to wrap this up. Again, I'm away next week, so I've got Rich booked in for 4 days holding the fort. It's bank holiday weekend, so I don't know if he's going to do Monday to Thursday or Tuesday to Friday. But yeah, feeling positive. Just nice to get some cars back on site. I've been really embarrassed only having the 2 cars. I've had the i10 and the Mazda for sale for ages. Even though I bought the 5 cars. In fairness, I've done a lot of work this week. Bought them 5 cars Tuesday. So what we've had 2 service MOT'd, plus the Fiesta. That's so I've had 3 service and MOT since Tuesday. I've picked those 2 up, they're ready to go in next week. And then I've got Rich booked in to come and valet, and then on Friday I'll get the handover. Well, we might get the silver Fiesta out on Friday, and I'll come in and get all the photographing and advertising done. So yeah, got the ball rolling, we've got cars back on site, we look like we're back in business. Thanks very much, enjoy your weekend, and we'll catch up next week when I'm back. Have a good evening, be safe.